Coming up right now, middle school takes an unusual stance on bullying, why their focus is on cell phones.
And also coming up, not a joke. So the poop at 100 comedians walk into a room. What inspired the meeting of the minds?
And later, actor Jake Gyllenhaal shares some personal information about his site, how he's used it to his advantage with his career. Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am 1981's Mitch English. So glad to have you here today. I just felt like no tie today, and
I like it.
Teacher from the
well, it's the Glen.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, can we take camera 3 here? You mess with the bull, you get the horns. Is that you?
Yeah, that's about right. It's a good look.
You look like a basketball coach.
Yeah. Okay. You like
You
it?
do, yes.
It's one of those things. So it started off with the black shirt, and then I
Yeah.
go, well, how am I going to wear it with it? And I always like try to match you and everything. And,
Yeah.
I go,
You look sharp.
well, I'm on the other side of it, and I'm not pitching for that, but it's not me, and that's what's feel weird. And so I go, why not? I'll go with my retro glasses.
I like it.
Thank
I
you.
like
Well,
it
you look
very much.
fantastic
Thank
as well. as
You
always.
mentioned Bratz. I watched that documentary on Hulu about Andrew McCarthy and the whole
Yes.
Bratz area. I had no idea.
He's the one that kind of put it all together, being part of it. So we kind of got a little bit of insight with one of the
Yeah.
backpackers.
And those movies will stand the test of time.
I
Breakfast
agree,
Club, About Last Night, St. Elmo's Fire. I watched St. Elmo's Fire after I saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to watch this movie again.
There's one person in the entire 80s that could capture that. I think it was John Hughes. And one of my favorite movies of all time is Weird Science. And literally just this morning, as I was getting ready in my office, I have this original Weird Science, and I was thinking about John Hughes, and I was thinking the exact same thing today. Maybe that's what the inspiration came from.
Yeah.
I like it.
Maybe that's what it was. John Hughes might have inspired me today. I love that guy. And,
Yeah.
sorely missed.
Yes, absolutely. So Maddie Doolittle joining us as well today.
Well, that's right. Yeah, man. How are you? You seen any good movies lately?
So I figured out the difference in this marriage where Leah and I are different now. So House of the Dragons came out last week, right?
Oh, right,
The other
yeah.
night. So she's watching that, and I tried to sit through it, and I'm like,
Excuse me.
I can't.
Oh,
I
don't
can't do this. Then we watch Godzilla -1 finally on Netflix. I'm sitting there like, yay, monster blow up thingies.
Yeah.
And she fell asleep watching it. Then we watched Monday Night Raw. And we're both in on this new Uncle Howdy thing going on. So that's going to continue to be our synergy in pro wrestling.
Okay. House of Dragons for her.
For her.
Godzilla for you.
Yep. And then wrestling for us.
Got it.
We don't have too much time. Later on in the show, I want to talk about that Godzilla -1 and what I cannot stand about Netflix, okay?
Oh, boy.
I
There's
got a
good.
whole thing.
Boy, there's a lot to unpack there. There was a guy suing Apple, lives over in the England.
England, huh?
Suing Apple for $6 million. Here's why.
What did he do to him?
His wife filed for divorce because she found messages on their computer that he had sent to sex workers. And he'd been doing this for quite some time, for years. His argument is he wouldn't be divorced if Apple had told him that just because you delete messages on your phone doesn't mean they get deleted on other devices. And she found the messages on their computer at home, saved on the cloud.
So basically, if you use your name, like you get a new iPhone, but you also have an iPad, you use the same sign in Apple ID. And so that goes there. So if you sent me a message, it would go to my iPad as well. She saw that. That's what it was.
She saw all of these messages, and he claims if he had had a chance to explain or apologize, they'd still be married. Well, she sued him for millions of dollars. He's saying he wants $6 million from Apple because that's how much the lawyers cost, that's how much the divorce cost, and that's how much he had to pay out his wife. Not taking any sort of responsibility
I
for,
love that.
hooking up with sex
He wants
workers.
Tim Cook and the gang to pay for his prostitutes. All right, I love that. You got to be careful. I actually, same thing happened to a friend I went to high school with. He was in Vegas. Wife was at home and knew everything that was going on because of the texting.
Does he pay for his hookers with Apple Pay?
Yes.
Is that how it
my
really goes?
understanding
Like, it's
that's
all
what
connected.
it was.
here's the thing. If you're
think you're right.
sending sex workers messages on iMessage
Yeah.
or via text, you're an idiot.
You're
Might as well
wanting to
pay
get
for a
caught.
hooker with a check.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
A check.
Thank you.
Jerry Springer. Remember
Yeah.
when he did that? All right, let's go up to Seattle. There was a students at there at one middle school might be out of the digital loop when they return to class in fall. I would love to know how folks hear about this. Think about this. Hamilton International Middle School, they will require all cell phones to be locked away in sealed pouches until the end of the school day. Other schools in Seattle plan to follow that new program too. The goal is to improve student performance, discourage bullying, and help retain teachers. Here's how it's going to work. When a student shows up at school, their phone will be put into a canvas bag that will require a special unlocking device. Now, students will not be able to use their phones until their bag is unlocked at the end of the day. School already has phones away for the day rule, but the teachers were responsible for enforcing it. I love that it's Seattle where the iPhone comes from, right? Yes, 100%. I am for that, 100%. And, and so the parents, I'll play the part of the parent, say, well, I need to know where my Johnny is. I need to know what's going on. What if something happens at school, a gunman comes in and he can't get a hold of me or whatever? There's so many other ways. Guess what? This is a generation that wore these clothes that actually went to school not having to worry about that at all. And, it went through. The second thing is, okay, you get them a watch, there's other things if you need a location service.
Right.
I have one for my cat.
Yeah.
So don't tell me, you're spending
AirTag your kid.
Attach an AirTag to your kid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
Or put it in their backpack. If you're concerned about that
Right.
sort of thing. And so there's ways to get around.
Well, if you've been to a concert lately or to a show with a comedian, oftentimes they're going to have you lock your cell phones away in those pouches. And it's fantastic because people actually have conversations with one another and pay attention to the show instead of recording a show
you don't
they'll
get this
never
all the time,
see
right?
or watch again. I don't get that when I see people recording
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, what? Are you really going to watch that at some point?
I'm really
No.
wishing the theme parks would almost do this because you've got these streamers now, and I've gotten in arguments with them where I'm like, I don't want
Put it away.
my wife and I would like to not be on your stream
Yeah.
today. They're like, that's my job.
Yeah. Or maybe walking with your phone like that,
Yeah.
is discouraged. Since we're talking about teens and cell phones, Jerry and Jessica Seinfeld, yes, the Jerry Seinfeld, their youngest son, he just graduated from high school, and his parents got him a blast from the past as a gift, a flip phone.
Hey now.
Now, the mom, Jerry's wife, Jessica, says that she hopes that the flip phone gift will encourage their son to give up the smartphone for the basic cell phone option. The mom of three has often posted on social media about encouraging a smartphone-free environment for the kids. Among her posts is a video from a social psychologist discussing the effects of smartphones, social media, and mental health. So even the rich are doing it as well. And, I appreciate it because they say, hey, look, I know you have your iPhone.
Yeah.
But here's a flip phone. We would hope that you change to it. And you, I believe, told me just last week that it's actually a trend anyway.
Yeah, with this Generation Z is wanting to get back to basics. So they are trading in these phones because obviously there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of mental health issues that are results of the smartphone. And they're going back to the flip phone.
I like the idea about it.
Yeah.
I think, there's so much that our iPhones can do for us. The fact that they listen all the time
Yes.
is another big
That
concern.
is another
and then
big-
now with the
yes.
integration of AI and, because they're selling it as, this is wonderful new AI that's going to be
Yeah.
coming to Siri. That's exactly the beginning of Terminator.
It's
So-
terrifying that we could talk about a purple-eyed monster that loves bacon, and all of a sudden in your Facebook feed, you'll have purple eyes, bacon.
It also makes you think about a text before you send it because it takes so much longer to actually do it. And you got to go through the five times or four times to get to the number.
Are y'all finding that it's faster? Like those things are popping up faster?
Yes.
The wife and I had a conversation, and when we're done, it was already something was popping up on that. So I think it listens to another person. Because I tried it, I was saying something over and over, and I didn't get the result. But then my wife started talking about something to me where the phone was nearby, and then it showed up in my.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's an issue. It's like I might not be talking about it, but somebody else will, and it shows up in my feed. That concerns me. Pope Francis welcomed a star-studded group of comedians at the Vatican. The pontiff welcomed 107 comedians and writers and greeted each person individually after giving a speech. Pope Francis, in his prepared remarks, noted that his audience consisted of the most loved, sought-after, and popular popular television and comedy personalities from around the world. Pope Francis called their talent a gift, said the humor they provide helps spread peace, light, and laughter around the world. He also recognized how their talents can help people overcome difficulties and the daily stress of life with a smile. The Pope told the audience in part that he believes it's okay to laugh with God, just like we play and joke with the people we love.
I do know that Stephen Colbert, and a devout Catholic, same goes for Jim Gaffigan, who that's part of his routine and everything. If you ever listen to Stephen Colbert, I mean, he's got an incredible life, by the way. Things that happened to him early in his life, but he stays true to it. So that has to be a huge honor for them to do that. And it's really weird because you think like it's this big, just a big, two people, two worlds that shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can, you know. I'm waiting for them to like kiss the ring. Go.
I'll admit, when I saw this on X, on Twitter, and I saw Jimmy Fallon and Chris Rock with the Pope, I thought it was a deep fake. I was like, this can't be real.
Right?
Honestly.
I would have. Yeah. We're not deep faking. We'll be back right after this. Promise. It's time for us to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Entering its 20th season on the Discovery Channel is the hit series Deadliest Catch.
This is more than just fishing to make money. It's a race against time. This year, we have to fish like every string is the last string we're ever going to set.
I need to catch crab, and I just lost everything.
You're telling me, can't go on my boat right now. You can come here, if need be.
This gripping documentary series reveals the mortal perils and intense discomfort that fishing crews face on the open sea, including 40-foot waves, 700-pound crab pots that can easily crush a careless crewman, and freezing temperatures around the clock. I chatted with Captain Sig Hansen and Captain Jake Anderson.
Why do people keep coming back to the show?
You know, it was supposed to be a documentary about commercial fishing, and now it's turned into like this family program of sorts. I mean, it's generational. It's multi-generational. And I think people come back to live vicariously through us.
I've had my kids born on the show. I've won a lot of things. I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money on the show, you know, and I think that all of that combined with there's 42 cast members roughly, you know, or fishermen or fisherwomen. So you have 42 stories that are, you know, all of them dramatic.
After 20 seasons, Deadliest Catch is still a captivating and intense series. Again, The Deadliest Catch is available on the Discovery Channel and streaming on Discovery.com. It gets an A and is rated TV PG. Streaming on most video-on-demand platforms is the political thriller Shadowland. It stars Jon Voight.
What am I doing here?
Perhaps you were having another one of your dreams?
I was. But it was real, too.
Do you like this when he was in office?
No, not at all.
President's asked for some of your time. The old man really needs you. How many of these dreams have you had, sir?
Haunted by relentless nightmares foretelling his untimely death, a former U.S. president and his psychiatrist discover the threat may be more real than imagined.
The idea of making the key decisions, it comes right down to that one man making the decision, is a tremendous responsibility. And that was what this film was about, you know. How does one go through the life of a presidency and know the grave responsibility that the things that he says and does are going to affect millions of people. And sometimes he makes the wrong move.
Although the acting in this movie is good, the script is lackluster, and the film moves far too slow to keep the audience's attention. Again, Shadowland is streaming on most VOD platforms. It gets a D and is rated R. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
Thank you there, Tony. And Deadliest Catch is definitely one of my favorite shows. We'll get to that in just a second. Well, welcome to your Daily Digits. We start out with 59, and it's rather a sad 59. Like I was saying, Deadliest Catch is one of my favorite shows. Well, longtime deckhand Nick Mavar, who appeared on 17 seasons of Deadliest Catch, died suddenly at the age of 59. He apparently suffered a heart attack and fell from a ladder in Alaska. He was best known for working on the Northwestern before leaving the show in 2020 due to medical issues. If you're like me, you've watched almost every episode of the show over its 20 seasons, and you always feel a connection to the guys like that, especially on a show where it's probably the most realistic reality show out there. I don't really think you can produce these guys to get in a fight. So all the best to his family and friends. And I don't know about you guys, but I just get connections to guys on shows like this. I mean, I guess maybe it's how people feel about the Housewives every once in a while, but it's the Housewives with, really tough guys on boats.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have rocky relationships as well, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're throwing people overboard for real reasons.
I think I would last like 2 minutes on one of those ships. I am definitely not one of those manly men. I can fix your Wi-Fi, but not your drywall. All right, your next digit this week is 10 million. And if you get bit by one of these things, you might not be so happy, but if you're a special species of bird in Hawaii, you'll be very happy to stay alive because of it. Over 10 million genetically modified, because that always works out well, male mosquitoes are being released in Hawaii to help the native species of more than 17 Hawaiian honey creepers. The species dropped from 50 types to 17 because of a form of avian malaria transmitted by mosquitoes when it was introduced to Hawaii by accident in the 1800s. That's usually how it starts. The hope is to introduce these mosquitoes that carry only human diseases and will hopefully take over the population to save the birds because they're as quickly as being extinct by next year. So they've called ladybug, they've said that ladybugs can take care of mosquitoes, and we're happy to have all of them. And you know what? They can take all of our love bugs here because they tend to eat everything, including the paint off your car. So just send those to Hawaii. All right, well, your last number today is 6 million. And if I had it, well, I would have spent it. A very rare Lamborghini Veneno Roadster, the second to leave the factory and one of only 9 ever made, just sold for $6 million at auction after sitting for 2 years in a dealership. And of course, Dubai. SBX Cars, the high-end dealership responsible for the sale, say it's the most expensive car sold online ever. It only had 1,105 miles on it and has a 6.5-liter V8 engine with a top speed of 220. My only question is, how much is the oil change on one of those things? Because I got friends that got like BMWs, and they're always like, "Yeah, the oil changes on these things. You don't want to do that." You guys ever seen a supercar like that? You're like, I gotta have that.
People forget that, and then insurance as well.
Yes.
What's on top of all that, and then just you have to house it too. So
forget just driving it off the lot. Maintenance, insurance, all that good stuff that comes with it. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and it's time for doing it. You see, that's me, and that's what the thing says. Well, gents, it's my favorite time of the year. No, it's not Christmas, not the Orlando Magic's opening day, or the start of International Pet a Giraffe Month. No, we just have a few days away from the start of Shark Week. You know that one week where they try to wipe our brains of the trauma that was the first time we saw Jaws? Yes, it's that week. We will be doing it watching Shark Week in all of its glory for 7 nights that we've been enjoying since 1988 and continues to be the longest running cable television programming event in history. It's even given us such great events as Shark Week. You see Shark, sounds like Shark, so Shark Week. When he was bigger than half the sharks in the tank, it was hilarious. But why do we love it still when we could just go watch all these clips on YouTube? My wife asked me the same thing, and my reasoning is this. Let me have an event once a year that doesn't divide people. We can all agree, shark bite bad, and people are dumb. Like the one guy who stood in a pool of bull sharks one year and had his calf ripped off by a bull shark in a pool of bull sharks, because you don't stand in a pool of bull sharks. I don't have to leave the house, pay any extra money for it, and I get to watch fish eat fish, and people and boats. I might learn a little something, but why does this draw me in so much? Sharks have been around for millions of years, far before us. Learned to adapt, change their hunting tactics, and yet still fall for the old fake seal on the back of a boat trick. I think I'm just fascinated by the idea that we fear something so much that we don't know much about. Do you even know that great white sharks have never been fully captured mating? Aren't we supposed to be the dominant species, and we have a whole bunch of humans having at it on camera? Some of them even become famous for it. But I disagree. I know there are a lot of reruns about shows on Shark Week. They tried to make up the story about the megalodon, and they had a late night show with Bob the Shark. That wasn't so great. Look, I could go on and on about how great I think Shark Week is, why you should watch it, comment on it. We'll get in a group chat together. Right, Andrea? Mitch, we'll get in a
Oh, yeah, I'm in.
Absolutely.
Shark
Totally.
Yep, we'll start that later. Look, just let people enjoy what they enjoy. And if I like doing it to Shark Week, then let me have that, guys.
Okay.
Very nice. Very good. We'll wait till Bruce the Shark has his own tape coming out. Let's check in now with Fabian Marcano from Daily Flash Latino. He joins us now for our relationship refresh.
Hey, guys, doing good to see you guys. Great to see you guys. How you guys doing?
Good.
Great.
Today, we have to talk about relationships. I have to show you guys the new ways that people are changing the world. Have you guys heard about the 80-20 rule?
The 80, no, as far as relationships go.
I've heard something about like if 80% of the guy is exactly what you love, then forget the other 20% you don't love.
That's actually, that's a way you could use it.
Okay.
There's different ways
Okay.
to use it.
Divorces?
It depends.
Hey, you 20, I get 80, you get 20.
I was gonna say you have to pay 80% of the bill. She just gets the tip, pretty much.
Is
But
that it?
it's not it. It's not it. It's a great way to rekindle passions, emphasize self-care, and nurture your relationship.
Oh, okay.
So there's different ways you can do this. There's one way where your partner could take up 80% of your time, and 20% of the time you can use it for your freedom. You can leave it up to pursue your own interests.
Okay.
And then it also can be applied in the amount of time you devote to each other. 80% of the time you could be with your partner, and 20% you're on your own. And then also another way, it's the 80-20 rule is kind of a way you guys can split enough importance between each other. So 80% of it is your problems, and then kind of you guys figure it out between that 20%. But it's just a way that you guys can kind of rekindle that passion that you have for each other, and also take care of yourself between the relationship without, losing self-care, self-awareness.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I think, even taking that into like just, we say the word argument, we think it's a bad thing sometimes, but arguments are actually just two people disagreeing and trying to figure out something altogether. Sure. Maybe if you go into a argument that you go, listen, this is the problem. I know you probably have something you want to spew out, but let's concentrate on the 80% of it. I can see that working great.
I think there's many ways that you can split it. How would you like to split it up?
Now entering its second season.
Well, if you talk about, I think the 80-20 rule is interesting, because if you think about spending 80% of your time together, but 20% of your time outside of the relationship, you've got to have something to bring into the relationship.
Good call.
If you are 100% in with each other 24/7, at some point you're going to get sick of each other.
Yes.
At some point there's nothing more that's new to the relationship,
Exactly.
right? So I think that 20% outside of the relationship is a good thing.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of people that get accustomed to being close to each other and just always with each other. So you guys kind of become one mind together. You don't really split the brains up. And that 20% could actually help you think of just ways that you can benefit each other. Maybe ways that you guys can do other things on your free time.
Yeah.
Also, it gives you 20% for yourself to work, Some people even forget that they have jobs because of their relationships. You know what I mean? You get home and you're tired, and then you're focused on 100% of your work, and maybe you don't even show that 20% for your significant other.
I can completely appreciate that, especially, and then you throw a family into the mix, meaning with kids, and that 80%, 20%. You got to still be yourself. So good stuff there.
Hey,
appreciate it.
It's not the 80% you pay and then 20% she's got, but
it's a good way to think. I love those ideas. Of course, you can check out Fabiana on Daily Flash Latino. All you have to do is head to dailyflashlatino.com. You can check your local listings and times as well. We got more Daily Flash right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
I Hi, everybody. Mitch English here.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Top of the show, Maddie was talking about Godzilla Plus One. It's a foreign film, right?
It's from Japan. It was written and directed, and the graphics were all done by the same guy.
All right, so here's what I have a problem with Netflix. I want you to stay, if you can, Marilyn, on camera 2 here. They'll say #1 in the country, and it's Godzilla Plus One, and they'll show you a little tiny clip of it, right? And they'll go, and you'll hear the dialogue, and they go, well, we need to make sure that we can be able to get a hold of the creature. So the whole time I'm like, okay, is this am I going to have to read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Every single one of them, I'm looking at the lips to see if they're actually, if it's a foreign film, because I don't want to watch it. I don't have to read. I'm watching TV.
It was done in Japanese, so you had. I liked it like that. But
well,
what's wrong with reading?
No, I have to have the things on anyway because including this monster, the dragon movie.
Oh yeah,
everybody talks like this.
Yeah.
Every English person.
It's white people talking low. That's what the whole show is.
The issue too is with these new flat screen TVs that all of us have, and the audio is completely different. So the audio is blasted behind the television, and if you don't have a surround sound, and even if you do, the audio is still really hard to hear.
And they're saying if you have this issue, I'm glad you brought that up, is that there's a setting on, I believe on Netflix where it says 5.1. If you have 5.1 but you don't have a 5-point speaker system, you're going to have those issues with audio. So keep that in mind. All right. Speaking of which, wherever you are watching, TV in your house, think about the newer houses being built.
Okay.
When you walk into it, the formal dining room.
Yes.
Is it there anymore?
No.
What is it if a house was built with a formal dining room? What is it? Is it a dining room?
I think they're turning it into either a rec room or an extension of the kitchen or maybe even an office. It just all depends on how your house is.
A lot of them are turned into an office. They're saying now that about 20% of the new homes being built, they're either not going to have a formal dining room as well.
No one
I had one growing up, and we only went in there maybe twice a year too. And the same plates were always out there anyway. But they're saying to turn them into offices or libraries. And think about that. And it is just like open, wasted space more or less. So if you're thinking about building a new home and people are just not wanting the formal dining room anymore. So goodbye formal dining room. We move on now from that to talking about actor Jake Gyllenhaal. He opened up about being legally blind, and he believes actually it's been an advantage for his movie career. The 43-year-old Oscar nominee says he's never known anything else. And when he wakes up in the morning before putting on his glasses, he describes it as a place where he can be by himself. Gyllenhaal was born with a lazy eye and has relied on contact lenses and glasses since he was 6 years old. His vision is now, get this, 20/1250. The American Foundation for the Blind determined the visual acuity of 20/400, very low functional vision. The Brokeback Mountain actor opened up about his vision problems back in 2017, saying that he was often bullied at school over his thick corrective lenses as well. Came from a very obviously artistic home. His dad, his sister, they were all very supportive too. So it's interesting to hear him coming out and saying this.
He was on Smartless, which you and I love to listen to. It's a great podcast, and he was discussing a situation where he was on Broadway on a play, and he was supposed to give a ring to his co-star, and he lost it somehow and couldn't find it, didn't have his glasses, didn't have his contacts, and he said it was just like this crazy comedy of errors.
And the way they pulled through, and everybody was like afterwards, like, and you handled that great, and that sort of thing. So, hey, listen, we all have our issues. There you go. We got more. We're going to help our home when we return, right?
We are.
Need to unwind after a busy day? We've got the perfect solution to your sleepless nights, thanks to Disney. Disney Sleep offers peaceful renditions of your favorite classic Disney songs to fall asleep to, and is available wherever you stream music. Just say, Alexa, play Disney Sleep to your Amazon connected device. For the perfect deep sleep, visit DisneySleepSweepstakes.com and enter to win the grand prize, an award-winning NOLA Evolution Luxury Hybrid Mattress. This mattress offers 3 firmness level options, cooling comfort, and pressure relief for sensitive joints. Learn more at NOLAmattress.com. The prizes don't stop there. The grand prize winner also gets a Whim Beside companion lighted speaker with Alexa to stream the Disney Sleep playlist. If you fall short of the grand prize, don't fret. You can still win one of 5 $25 Amazon gift cards. Head over to dailyflashshow.com and click on the sweepstakes button for your chance to win.
In this week's Help My Home, we call on our favorite home improvement guy, Gator.
Hey, this is Gator with a few easy hacks to help you help your home. It's early spring here in the South, especially in Florida. It's mid-70s and has been for a few days. Most people have run their air conditioner a few times. This is a great time to clean out your drain lines for your air conditioner. These things will get backed up. They get algae built up in them. It'll back up in your evaporator inside or in your closet or in your basement or wherever it may be, and it'll flood there. Most people around here have them in their attic, and it'll flood your house. So you need to clean these out a couple times a year. Some of the older styles, and if you ask the installers, they will install a T in the line up there, and you can pour some bleach in it. If you call someone to clean your lines, this is how they're going to do it. And you just get you a little shop vac. This is a little Stinger from Home Depot, probably 20 years old. And you find your drain line. Now, this one just happens to be black. Some of them are white. I painted this one. Usually they're outside right next to your unit. This one just happens to be around the corner a little bit. You just put your hose on here, just like that. Turn your air conditioner on and run your shop vac for about 30 seconds. Now, if your hose is bigger than your line, then just put some tape around it or a piece of cloth or something there to cover up the gap. You do this about twice a year, you're not going to have any problems with your air conditioner drain lines backing up. And if you ever have one back up in your house, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, then. Next! I'm going to give you a couple of Gator Pro pool tips. Okay, I've been doing this a long time. I built this pool a couple of years ago. This is a saltwater pool. The biggest thing I can tell you is you need to check your chemicals. And I mean on a regular, not just once every 2 or 3 weeks. You need to check them every couple of days until you know they're steady for a while. You need one of these test kits. This is a Taylor test kit. You can get these off Amazon. This is the same stuff the pool stores and everybody uses, okay? This is easy. It's got all the directions right here. It's simple to test your chlorine, your pH, everything you need to test right here. And this thing will save you tons of money and tons of headache. You won't have to continue to go to the pool store, continue to have them sell you stuff. This will test your water. It'll tell you right here exactly how to use it. It's got a little book in there, tells you what to add. You can go buy your chemicals anywhere you want. Taylor test kit, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, pool noodle. Got you a piece just long enough to go over your net. Now this is a net that scoops leaves off the bottom and stuff, but I use this for the top and the bottom. And when you put a pool noodle on there like this, it's gonna float the net for you. And you can just float it around. You can still push it under the water, look, and it'll just float right back up. You don't have to worry about dragging it around when it's long, extended, full of leaves. It's gonna float right there for you. This is a game changer. And when you drop it in the water, you'll be able to get it. All right, then, next. So if you deal with mosquitoes, like most people do, especially in the South, these things will wear you out. You're always looking for something to keep them away, right? So this thing's called Spartan Mosquito Control. I heard they were good. I'm not selling this thing. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it at Ace. You can get it at Tractor Supply. I've never used it, but I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. But they come, there's like 2 tubes in a box, right? And you take this little lid off, put some water in here. You shake this stuff up. It's got some powder in there. And they say that you hang it around your property 80 feet away from where you're going to be hanging out. So if you put like one on each corner of your property, it's supposed to keep the mosquitoes away for 30 days. I'm going to put a few of these out. I'm going to show you how I hang it up in the tree or wherever I'm going to put it here. I'll find a spot. And then I'll give it a few days and I'll come back and do a part 2 and we'll see if it really works. So I took the white cap off. I filled it with warm water. It's got a little line right here. You shake it up, dissolves this powder in here. You replace it with this black cap and it's got this little hook. And we're going to hang it on this tree right here on the edge of my property. Just like that. So that's all there is to it. I'll put 3 more of these around my property for a total of 4. I think they fly inside that thing. So we'll come check in a few days and we'll see if it works. All right, then. Next. Be sure to catch my home hacks and more right here on the Daily Flash.
Staying fit isn't easy when you have a busy schedule. Here's how you can incorporate more movement in your daily routine from our medical expert in this latest Dr. Ken Redcross to the Rescue Health Minute.
Now, regular physical activity is a huge health boost, not only for your body, but your mood and general well-being. So here are a few smart tricks to help you sneak in more exercise without even realizing it. Try the 50-10 rule. Take 10 minutes for a break after working uninterrupted for 50 minutes. Stand up and walk around when you're on the phone or in a virtual meeting where you're not on camera. This will help increase the step count and also give your eyes a much needed break from the screen. Put on your workout gear first thing in the morning and you're more likely to commit to doing the work than skipping out. This small change can affect your mind state and help make exercise a daily habit. Turn household chores into short workout sessions. Try some lunges, maybe while you're vacuuming or mopping. Unloading the dishwasher can be so boring, but torso twists or standing calf raises and bicep curls can help the time pass faster while you get some fitness in for the day. If your body gets a little sore from these added activities, remember to take it slow and consider using a pain reliever like Arnica Gel by Boron to help keep you comfortable. Made from arnica, this unscented and quickly absorbed gel works to relieve sore and stiff muscles as well as bruising. With these simple changes, you'll be feeling more fit and healthier in no time. I'm Ken Redcross with your Dr. Redcross to the rescue Health Minute.
Summer is here. That means it's time to gear up with the latest and greatest tech to help elevate your season of fun in the sun. Digital lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong joins us with the best innovations and the products to do just that. Mario, where do we start when we're actually thinking about summer, particularly when it comes to travel?
Well, first off, hey there, good to see you. Thanks for having me on the Daily Flash. And I partnered with a few great brands to help you really enjoy the summer. So we'll start with that travel. And according to McAfee's Safer Summer Travel Survey, over 25% of Americans were affected by a travel scam. So with AI scams getting harder to detect, you should check out McAfee Plus for privacy, identity, security, and scam protection. You'll get quick alerts on suspicious links in text before you click. And with their VPN, you'll be safe using public Wi-Fi. And with McAfee Plus Premium, you'll get advanced AI-powered security. And the first year subscription for an individual is just $49.99. Now, in the summer, we've got hurricanes, heat power outages, and more. So we need an accessible home backup solution, the Anker Solix F3800. Combined with the Anker Solix Home Power Panel is a backup solution during power outages, and it functions as a solar energy system for everyday use as well. With the Anker app, you have full control to manage your home's energy and reduce your electric bills. Plus, it's super easy to install with just an electrician, and setup only takes an hour. Now, another cool innovation for the home is Tovolo Mini Ice Cylinder Squeeze and Release. Mini Ice is really popular right now. People love the light and chewy texture, but they haven't been able to do this at home in an inexpensive way. The innovative cylinder is easier to release than standard mini ice trays, more affordable than ice machines, and creates enough mini ice cubes for 2+ drinks. You just squeeze to pop the ice free. Try it out in your iced tea, your iced coffees, cocktails, and more this summer. You'll love it.
Mario, lay down some tips for us when it comes to summer spending.
Now, summer spending can happen quickly. Trust me, I know this personally. But with Affirm, you can regain control over your finances. It's a flexible alternative to credit cards, so you can responsibly pay over time for all the things you'll need with no late or hidden fees. From making home improvements for summer entertaining with Walmart to booking vacations with Priceline, you can shop online or in store from thousands of your favorite merchants using the app or by visiting affirm.com.
All right, folks watching, they love this. Where can they go if they want more information, Mario?
For more on everything else I covered, you can check it all out on our website at inthenews.tv.
And now here's a great way to make your summer months even sweeter.
In the know. Summer is here, and with it comes delicious sweets.
One of my favorites is the Domino's S'mores Brownie Skillet. This recipe brings all the campfire fun of s'mores into a delightful skillet dessert. Made with Domino light brown sugar, the brownies have a rich and fudgy texture, while the light brown sugar adds a hint of caramel that elevates the entire experience.
For more tips and recipes, visit dominosugar.com.
If you're ready to sport some new looks this season, here's a sale you won't want to miss.
Summer's the perfect time to refresh your wardrobe with deals on clothes you can wear right now and transition smoothly into fall.
The biggest shopping event of the year is here. The Nordstrom Anniversary Sale offers brand new merchandise from sought-after brands until August 4th. There's something for everyone, every category: clothing, shoes, and accessories for women, men, and children, as well as home and beauty.
Visit Nordstrom.com/anniversary to see all the great deals.
In the summer, we all have those go-to outfits that make us feel our best while having fun in the sun, but the summer activities come with the inevitable stains and desire to keep our favorite clothes looking fresh. That's why today we're coming clean with some fabric care tips from laundry expert Jennifer Rivera. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Matt.
So how do I care for my favorite clothes so I can wear them all summer long?
Yeah, I mean, we all have those favorite clothes that make us feel confident and even bring back some memories of the first time that we wore them. And we're afraid to, wash them and maybe lose that new clothes feeling. So what you're going to want to do is look for a detergent that contains fabric care ingredients that help preserve colors and quality. As the official detergent of Outfit Repeating, Persil Laundry Detergent features a formula that cleans fabrics into its fibers so you can confidently wear your favorite outfits on repeat. Another tip is to take these favorite garments and turn them inside out actually before putting them in the washing machine. There's friction that can happen as you wash, so you want to make sure that the friction happens on the inside of the garment instead of the outside of the garment. And then a lot of people like to store their clothing in different areas during different months, so like the summer and the winter clothing. So when you store them in a different place, just make sure it's a cool, dry place instead of somewhere damp and moist.
So I'm pretty sweaty and it's kind of hot here in Florida. So do you have any suggestions for cleaning our activewear that, I can wear on repeat?
Yeah, exactly. So it's right. It's summertime, so everyone's hot, everyone's sweating from their workout or from just the weather. So what I would recommend doing is definitely washing with our Persil Activewear Clean. It's a new detergent specifically designed to fight body oil and sweat to preserve activewear fabrics. We designed it in that lab that way so that those oils and sweat don't set into the fabrics, and then it helps while maintaining fabric shape and stretch. Activewear garments also, so when you're drying them, you're going to want to check the garment label for the directions on what it recommends, because sometimes it'll recommend to air dry and others will recommend to just dry at a lower temperature.
Thanks for all those tips, Jennifer. Where can we go for more information?
Yeah, so for more laundry information, you can always visit PersilLaundry.com.
Thanks, Jennifer, and we'll make sure we have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Hey, before we head into the weekend, we always like to give you our picks for streaming for the weekend. This is where we tell you something you got to check out on your favorite streaming services. We're going to start off with Matt's pick this week. What you got there, Matt?
So, big wrestling fan, but my pick this week is one of the most intriguing stories in professional wrestling, and it's the story of the rise and fall of ECW.
It's Philly. They took us in. They made us their own. They gave us a home. They gave us a town to burn down. So here we are in 2024. It's WrestleMania 40, and we're in, of all places, Philadelphia, the birthplace of ECW.
This is the A&E biography, Legends ECW, and it's on A&E over the weekend. And it's the ECW was a mid-90s counterculture program to the safe world of the WWF and the WCW at the time. I love this. It was on at 2 in the morning on the CW here in Orlando. And it used to be one of those like guilty pleasures where you're like, I shouldn't be watching this. Oh my gosh, they're all half naked. It was great. I loved it. So you can catch it on A&E.
Check that out. All right, moving forward.
My pick for the weekend is the Netflix documentary, How to Rob a Bank.
This is a robbery.
He was the most prolific bank robber in the Pacific Northwest.
He's robbed 14 banks in Seattle since June of 1992.
This case was spinning a little bit out of control.
He was a smart bank robber. He became our #1 priority.
What happened here reads straight from a movie script.
His moniker was Hollywood.
True crime documentary, Robber, inspired by Patrick Swayze's character Bodie in Point Break. It's fascinating.
It's really well done, too.
Yeah.
I liked it. All right, hear ye, gather round to witness Ren Fair, a most wondrous HBO documentary that doth transport thee into the enchanting realm of Renaissance fairs where merriment, chivalry, and rivalry rebound.
Renaissance Fair in the United States came into being because they wanted to be like George. He's built this whole thing.
He's the ruler. He's not crazy. He's just thinking on a level that you can't comprehend.
don't know what's going to happen to it after he's gone. Because if he ain't working it, it don't work.
Crazy guy.
Wow.
It's happened in Texas. He owns his own town, and he also made a fair there. Really,
That's
really
always
cool.
end well, right?
Y'all take care. Speaking of ending wells, we'll see you when we look at you. Bye.